Chitananda here, still at Schwan Lagoon, and I am looking at a very large oak tree. I also have a book on oak trees that I recently got, and I'm listening to it on audiobook. And these are just amazing givers to so many plants and animals and insects. All of them make their homes here. There's woodpeckers storing nuts in the bark. The seeds, the nuts themselves are coming, the acorns are being collected by various animals, squirrels especially. And they create a beautiful home. From a mystical perspective, there's something very special about trees. And my teacher's teacher once said, be good to trees. One day a tree might save your life. I've been contemplating that for the better part of 20 years. It's a very mysterious statement to me, and to try to pin it down and make meaning out of it right away would have been a big mistake. In contemplation over the many years of this idea that a tree might one day save my life, I've discovered many things about trees that might be true about. Certainly on a more physical level, and there's metaphysics as well, energetics, to plant medicines. So certainly there are trees that give their bark and their leaves and other parts of their body, you can say. It's very important to interact with them as live beings and not as some dead, inanimate thing, because they're just not. So the medicines actually might save your life, the medicines that come from trees. But I'm pretty clear it's on a much higher spiritual level that my teacher's teacher was speaking. And it has to do with the energetics of a tree. For example, if you ever feel depressed and you go find the right tree in the forest and you hang out underneath it for a while, you may not feel depressed after that. So hanging out, putting your aura, your energy body, under the much larger energy body of the tree, there's a healing and balancing and grounding effect that can happen there. Furthermore, over the years, I've developed the ability to see the energy body of a tree, and it's very wonderful. I love seeing it when I see it. For the most part, I can choose when I see it. I go into what we call second attention. Essentially, I'm opening my third eye, and I'm seeing with my third eye instead of my physical eyes. And what I see on any tree is this really beautiful sparkly strands of energy going up the tree's branches, up the trunk, and through all the branches. And it shimmers with like white, shimmering crystal light. And when I see it, I'm also feeling it at the same time, and there is a purity in that I absolutely love to witness. So that's where I'm at on this contemplation, and maybe I'll take another 10 years to contemplate further, and maybe I'll discover something about trees that I still haven't yet seen. And that to me makes life worth living and so exciting. And I hope you'll do the same. I hope you'll contemplate in your own way how a tree might one day save your life. In terms of being good to trees, it's very good to have them in your home. It's very good to give to them. Maybe half of my students, when I tell them to get a tree, they're afraid of killing the tree because they feel like they can't take care of it. I want you to know that all things in nature live and die, and embrace the life as much as you embrace the death. Embrace the death as much as you embrace the life of your plants, your house plants, and your trees. And don't worry so much. Do your best. Do your best. There are a lot of nuances. When you own a plant, it's good to get it from a nursery that you trust. Some of these local nurseries are the best. I don't like the little shops like on popular downtown areas. That's more of like a tourist thing. They're more expensive. They're not necessarily cared for very well. Sometimes it depends, of course. And then I don't get the sense that these people are like like tree nerds or plant nerds. And I love interacting with the real plant nerds. And I find them at local nurseries. And you can pick their brains. They will talk to you for longer than you're comfortable with about a particular plant. Sometimes you have to learn how to gently shift the conversation towards getting to the line for checkout, because they just get so into it sometimes, which I love too. And those are the same people that you can usually send a photograph of your plant to and ask a question of like, what's going on? It looks like it's losing its leaves right now. What do I do? And they can definitely give you wisdom on how to save your tree. So the point is, trust yourself. Give yourself a chance to love a tree, love a plant. Pick a plant maybe to start with if you're new to it, like a snake plant or ivy. These are very easy to care for. If you forget to water for days, they are pretty good. But all things in this life come and go, including us as humans. Our spirits live on. The spirit of plants always lives on. So don't get too worried about doing it wrong. Just do your best. And, it's nice to create connections with other tree people. I like to call these people tree people. I very much feel like a tree person. I like to say we are the tree people. I really love to actually even consider that our arms are very much like branches. And actually there is a relationship between tree energy bodies and human energy bodies. The way that we stand upright is similar to the trees. And I've also seen the sparkly energy of human energy bodies, and it's different, but there's certainly a relationship there. So I also like to look at humans very much as trees ourselves on an energy level, especially when we're in that peaceful state beyond heavy thinking mind and beyond emotion. So here's the oak. This one's got to be at least 30 to 50 feet across. For those of you in Europe, I'll let you translate to the metric system. Very, very large oak. And it's just nice to go up and, hang out with them. And really consider that they are alive. Like there are things happening right in front of you right now that you can't see with your physical eyes. But if you were to go into second attention, you would start to see the energy body. Also consider flowing water is happening very much like the veins in our own body, with blood moving through our veins. This is a living being. There is wisdom here. I can't say what kind. It's not necessarily the kind that will fit in your neurons of your brain. It's not that kind of information. But there's a deeper energetic information that you can connect with here. So enjoy your house plants, your house trees, and trees in nature. It's always nice to find a tree at a park, preferably a large one that's within walking distance from your home, and you can create a true relationship with that tree. You might even call it your tree. It can be other people's tree, but there's a heart connection with it such that it feels like your tree. And that's a very nice friendship to have. And that can support you in your meditation. It can support you in your mindfulness throughout the day when you feel like you're losing balance. You could even just think of your tree and feel a little bit better, a little more balanced, a little more rooted.